Hi, welcome back to Sean's Eye View, and this week we are in Kensington in London, and coming up we'll go for a walk through Kensington Gardens, Hyde Park, the Albert Hall, down to the museums and on up to Knightsbridge. Starting here, just round the corner from my hotel on Kensington High Street, and across the street here is the old Barker's department store. You know it's empty now.
What happened to Whole Foods?
I think the Whole Foods is still there in the corner,
Oh, okay.
but I once went to a party at the famous roof gardens up top once, a
I
long
never,
time ago.
I never got to go.
No, I was lucky. It was a work thing. So just along the street, and you're in Kensington Gardens. And we're going to start with a walk past Kensington Palace.
Possibly most famous for the Diana tributes, 1997.
Yes, because that's where she used to live, and
Yeah,
now Prince William and Princess of Wales live there as well.
and a couple of others.
Yeah, there's various royals live there. But unfortunately, I couldn't visit during my trip because, as you can see, it was under renovation. So I went for a walk here around the round pond. And it's great to think this is space in the middle of one of the biggest cities in Europe.
I spent a lot of time in Hyde Park, which is
Adjacent.
Kensington Gardens, Hyde Park, for people who don't know, large rectangular space, kind of divided down the middle diagonally. I spent more time in the right-hand side, Hyde Park. Kensington Gardens is just literally over the water. Strange distinction, but slightly more less formal in Kensington Gardens, weirdly, I always find. Hyde Park a little bit more open, a little bit more spacious, but really, really, really nice place, always.
Yeah, and you can see people were out walking their dogs. It was a weekday morning. It was a nice space to walk through and get to clear my head. And so here's the Italian gardens, which I'd never been to these before ever.
I first went there in 1989 when I first moved to London, and it's still possibly one of my most favourite places in London. I just love it. I don't know why, I just do. That's at the end of the Long Water, which is the piece of water that separates the two sides. And it's just fantastic. It's by Lancaster Gate, isn't it?
And again, that's in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
So calm. So you can see in the distance there, that's the Knightsbridge Barracks, which is an army base with Royal Household Cavalry, I think, Horse Guards. Anyway,
Peter Pan statue commemorating J.M. Barrie's book, built in 1912.
I'd never seen this before either.
I walked past it quite a few times. It's kind of not on one of the main thoroughfares, I think.
No, it's just by the Long Water, but yeah, it was nice to see it. And of course, Henry Moore Arch across the water there, one of Britain's renowned sculptors.
Not my favourite. Impressive, but not my thing.
And then here we are, and this opened in 2004. It's the Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fountain. It's
Low profile.
low profile, interesting. The water flows around in a circle uphill, so it must be assisted somewhere.
Yeah.
And fittingly, this is across from the Serpentine Gallery where she debuted her revenge dress,
The little
rather
black dress.
famously. Yes. So it's a calm spot for reflection.
Here we look down the Serpentine.
And on the horizon, you can see the Hilton Hotel and then the Shard beyond. And there'll be videos coming up featuring both of those.
One of my old workplaces, the Hilton.
And on the southern edge of Hyde Park is Rotten Row. As you can see, it's a bridle path where you can see horses running, cantering, exercising,
Yeah.
if you're lucky, and you have to keep out of the way.
There's barracks horses and there's a private stables on the southern edge of the park as
Yeah.
well.
And then right next to that is the Albert Memorial here. Now, the last time Sean and I were here together was during the filming of a Bollywood movie dance sequence on the steps.
No idea which one it was.
There must have been about 200 dancers in
Yeah.
full Bollywood geesh.
And it was similar weather as well. So it was, although it was probably a dream sequence, I'm not sure what sort of dream it was.
Anyway, it's a very nice memorial to Prince Albert. And opposite is the Royal Albert Hall, a music venue. I've been there once for Christmas carols.
I've never been inside.
It's amazing in the round when they do it fully in the round.
Incredibly impressive space. Very famous in the UK for the proms.
And other concerts, though, if you can go online, you can see on YouTube Dua Lipa there, Adele there, even Robbie Williams did a
Yeah, he
one
did a
night there,
special.
didn't he? And Kylie did one too. So
Yeah,
yes, very popular and very fond in British culture. And behind it, fittingly, is the Royal College of Music.
famous school.
Yeah. And so from here, I then started to walk down towards South Kensington, where the famous museums are. But of course, along Queen's Gate, somewhere Sean has always wanted to live in a house like this.
I just like the style.
And there's the Thailand embassy just across. So I thought it was worth including.
Yes.
Although some of these buildings are looking a little worse for wear.
I think the white paint doesn't hold up very well with the weather.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not sunny. And so here's the Natural History Museum. So when I was a kid living in the south of England, we used to come up to London in the school holidays and we'd always go to the museums, one of them at least. There's a cluster of them together. And this one, I always refer to it as a cathedral of evolution.
Nice, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's a fantastic collection. This is a very large blue whale, and there is the statue of Charles Darwin.
Such an impressive building. It always amazes just to walk. You can spend hours and hours and hours walking around here.
And the collection is fantastic. And you'll see coming up, they have some awesome dinosaur specimens. Here's one right here in the entrance. I didn't go around the full museum because I only had a short time, but yeah,
It could take days.
it does. And next door is the Science Museum. I didn't go in this one this time.
I've only been in once with you.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic space. Absolutely fantastic.
Very good discovery for children. And then Victorian Albert Museum is right next door for decorative arts.
This is my favourite.
And
Again,
why is it your favourite, Sean?
because of the breadth of the collections, it's absolutely huge. However, you didn't go into my favourite space, which
I
is the
know.
cafe.
I'm sorry. It was raining.
Incredibly decorative room that's been a tea room for God knows how long. And it's just a beautiful building. But again, the collections are just mind boggling. The amount, the size, the diversity. There is always a rotating space for different collections, different exhibitions, new pieces. Just
They have
stunning.
they have modern things. They have fashion history. They have historical furnitures and antiquities.
Yeah,
And there's now a new extension museum opened in East London.
which looks incredible. It's like basically it's their vault.
Yeah, I want to go and see that next time. So you can see the rain is really starting to come down now. But anyhow, I decided to head on up along Brompton Road towards Knightsbridge. This is Brompton Oratory, one of the largest Catholic churches in London.
Famous landmark. Never been in.
Me neither. And so this is Brompton Road, very classic because of Harrods coming up here on the right. And you can see it was not a sunny day at all. It wasn't
Nice.
great for going out.
Nice London summer.
Yeah. So Harrods is a world famous department store. It used to be owned by the famous Al Fayed family and is now owned by the Qatari royal family. No longer has royal warrants and crests on the
No.
side because it is no longer the purveyor of groceries to the palace.
Your family.
So anyhow, I popped inside and here's the food halls. They're well known. As you can see, quite a wide selection of different things to eat and some on site. Generally though, when I went into Harrods, it did feel just like a Bangkok department store.
A time all.
There were all the concessions that we have at home. It didn't feel any different, I'm
No.
afraid. But if you're in the area and you want a mooch around and some nice food maybe, this is a good place to go have a look. And so this building used to be my old head office when we were working and living out in the Far East and the Middle East. I used to come into London on business trips, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and this is where I'd be based, at Knightsbridge Green. It's no longer there.
Here you've got One Hyde Park. New-ish. It's very exclusive, very expensive residential development next door to the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Very nice. Used to be called the Hyde Park. Harvey Nichols, fashionable store, fantastic bar on the 5th floor. Very worth a visit.
Absolutely, sweetie darling.
Fabulous.
And here's the final stop of the trip. Up on Knightsbridge is the Park Tower Hotel. It used to be called the Sheraton Park Tower, and this is where Sean and I would stay, or I would stay when we were back over for my work trips. Very nice location, right on Knightsbridge.
Very nicely placed. Always
Although,
any.
I want to go to the Mandarin next time, please.
I would like to go there too.
Thank you for joining us on this tour, and here are some other videos from our travels that you might also enjoy. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe for a new video every week.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching.
Bye-bye.